Have the switchboard?
Yeah, Brad Winstrip, Ohio, please.
One moment.
19th of September.
Congressman Winstrip's office, this is Ashley.
Hey, Ashley, one of my favorite people in there. This is your buddy James Preston. Calling in. Also have
Naomi Marks. Put me down as a separate call.
Yep, and we're calling in because of this WHO that we need for Brad to get all about this or whatever. Want to tell him we're not for sure about this thing that he's trying to do with the bill that he passed or trying to pass. I'm not sure exactly where it's at right now with appointing 5 different people that people seem to think could take over their position if something tragic was to happen to them, like when they was at the baseball game and then they had the one that tried to eliminate them or something while they was playing their ball game, and which is kind of odd that they're playing games when our country's like that. But anyway, I don't know why they'd be playing games, But anyway, I'm not for sure. I think we'd have to do a lot more thinking about whether we actually like that position to have these guys appoint somebody to fill their position until they could be taken over. I think the best way to do that would be to let the people vote for a stand-in rather than them, because just because somebody can do a job, Brad, that doesn't mean, although that maybe you do that job or that position well. I mean, look at what tragedy that we the people's having to live with now. You have somebody that's that's put in as a police chief by the mayor, and then the police chief, then he starts hiring all these Yanka monkeys that come in, and he can hire his cousin or somebody owes money to or whatever to be a law enforcement instead of a peace officer. And I don't think that would be the way to do that, to appoint people, because when we start appointing people, that's entirely wrong. That takes away from the way that this is actually set up for our government to actually work. Not that it's working good now. It's a complete disaster right now, and everybody's wanting to turn on the light and say, "Oh, look over here at Wuhan. Look how bad they are and everything." But nobody's wanting to actually row back up the river from river of crap where this began and say, "Hey, wait a minute. We had people that swore to protect against foreign and domestic." I think that it's good that we're finding out, okay, it was Wuhan, this, that, and the other thing, but you got Fauci, who was told to knock this stuff off here in the States, but then he was like, oh, okay, fine. So he just packed up, took it across seas with taxpayer money and opened up business bigger, badder than ever before. Finding out, how to create these savage diseases and man-made viruses, if you want to call them, to eliminate we the people. And it worked. And now we've got millions of them that's gone, and we got millions of them, myself included, who's suffering because of the garbage that all of our government swore to protect me and we, all of us out here that's got the effect one way or the other, whether it's loved ones that's unalive or themselves that's unalive, or people that's living with problems now like I am because of what was brought in here that we should have been protected from. But nobody wants to address that problem. Nobody wants to stand up and say, hey, you know what? We failed which nobody really likes to call themselves a failure, and I completely understand that. But they're not even saying, hey, you know what, all right, let's not say it. Heaven forbid we do that. But let's at least be accountable and say, you know what, we realize that things happen that shouldn't have happened, at least, and then say, let's take care of that. Okay, like right now, I was in the hospital and stuff, and I've got like $30,000 worth of hospital bills that the government is responsible to pay because they allowed this garbage to be created. They're the ones that created it with we the people's money, and then they brought it to we the people, and then told us, take this jab, make Pfizer and the rest of them extremely rich, and us too, along the way, by the way, and let us, make all of our money off of what we've done, but we'll pretend like that we're fighting for the people. It's a circle jerk that goes on. We the people's already well aware of it, and people will be held accountable. The election is almost here, and it's not Trump that will be riding the ship by himself, and he even realizes that. It is from we the people. We're tired of it. That's why the numbers in the poll and stuff are overwhelming for Trump right now. It's so big that they'll try to say that it's that Camellia, which is really what she is. She's a chameleon because any way the wind blows, that's how to say her name. You know it? Because whatever the situation is, that's how her accent goes. And that's what color skin that she has. It just depends on the situation that she's in. So, but we know what's going on. We're taking over this like it should have been. We the people, we're tired of it. But we want to know. No, we don't want to know. We're telling Brad that he needs to do something, and I want to see him doing something. Rather than just wanting to take a position where somebody was voted in, and sometimes they wouldn't even vote it in because now we know that these elections have been corrupted for a long time, and we're right now seeing all these votes that's being thrown out and stuff because they got people that's unalive and hasn't been living for a long time, and they're still on the voter rolls. 100 and some thousand votes or whatever in Arizona they just threw out, and so on and so forth. But that's not the only state doing that. And if they are, what's Ohio doing? Ohio is trying to say that our elections all been secured and everything. Ain't no way. There's no way. But we want him. We're demanding that he does whatever he has to help out with the border, to create that border back that we desperately need. We want him to get rid of all of these cat-eating invaders that's here, and this WHO, World Health Organization. Say it, no, you can talk.
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
We want them gone. We want that ended. We don't want, and that's coming up too. They're getting ready to have their big meeting, and it's already been told that the Camellia and her twin Joe Biden are all for it. So that means it's not them that's for it. That means that their controllers are for it. So whoever they're working for, China probably, are for this. And absolutely, why wouldn't they be? Because the World Health Organization, in case anybody doesn't understand what that is, that's if there's a virus or anything that, if there's a virus, anything comes along, and they can just say, oh, there's an emergency, and take over. So that means that the President of the United States don't mean nothing, or anybody else. That it's up to them. And that's not what our country is about. You know, we left because there was people wanting to have their way and their way only and not listen to we the people. But that's where we are. We're in a country where, like it or not, the government, and they should like it. I mean, how difficult of a job do they think that they have being a representative or a governor or whatever, a congressman? How difficult can that possibly be? It's not difficult. You listen to the people, the right people, the Americans, the true Americans, God-fearing. Why do you think that our currency and everything like that, Brad, why is it that you think that our currency has "in God we trust" on it? Why do you think that they call the flag "Old Glory"? And another thing too, we want all these other false flags, these thin blue line flags that these the government military, we call them law enforcement. You know, why are they sporting a flag with a thin blue line?
Or
So
red.
the American flag and working for the American people, that's not good enough? That's not good enough? You're not good enough for that flag if you are sporting a thin blue line flag?
Or red.
Or the red, yeah, oh yeah, the firemen, we can't. And this is all created because we was told, go thank your policeman. If you see a police, you just go thank him. And in the meantime, he just got done beating the hell out of your grandma or something that you don't even know about yet. And then whenever you leave, then you get a phone call saying that granny's in bad shape. Or your special needs child or something like that has been unalived because they shot them while they're in their wheelchair. This happens. This is happening. You know, and does it really take a scientist to figure out why we the people do not like the government's law enforcement army? That's not. This isn't rocket science.
And
it's common sense.
And a small note to add to that: take the demonic symbols off the currency as well.
Well, yeah,
No, I said a small note.
Well,
to go
it's
with
actually a huge note, but that's that's a total new battle all in itself. But my point is that we want Brad. There's so many battles that he needs to be getting with. He's so ready to retire, him and his buddy there that he was talking to about trying to pass this. Let's not worry about what the people say. Let's let Brad Wenstrup or whoever it is that's sitting there that was elected, okay, legitimately or maybe not, we don't know, but anyway, elected, okay, if they're elected, now all of a sudden you have the right to say, well, you know what, if something happens to me, I'll just appoint whoever, and I'll give 5 names, I'll put down so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so. No. It doesn't work that way. See, you have to be elected to a position. Absolutely not. He who gives up a little sovereignty for freedom has neither. So we don't do it that way. Now, if he wants to put something in there, I already figured this out, as I've already said. Whenever we have the election, then have a stand-in. You know, we can elect a stand-in. Like if something was to happen to somebody, then they can have 2 or they can have 3 or whatever, and we do it that way, you know. Or heaven forbid that we would actually get a sheriff that's actually a sheriff and that knows how to be a sheriff and what a sheriff is actually supposed to do, which is represent and protect we the people, you know. He's elected. And the sheriffs have forgot about the Constitution and who it is they work for. Not all of them. I think there's a few of them out there that's actually, you know, still believes in the right way. But the problem of this is that we the people have not shown them how powerful that we are. And I know that you guys enjoy whenever I call in, and I'm glad. That thrills me to death. I'm glad that you look forward to hearing from me and we the people. Because that shows that we're moving forward and that we're starting to understand, you know, the way this actually works. And you know, it's unfortunate. Anybody that has, you know, the unfortunate problem of not having enough brain cells to realize that we the people appreciate the very ones that's in there and that answers these phone calls and stuff like that and gets our messages to where they're supposed to go to. You know, it's unfortunate that these people don't understand that we do appreciate them. Very much so. You know, it's not easy listening to people growl and groan and gripe, you know, whenever they're complaining at you. But it's the smart ones, the intelligent ones, understands that it's not we the people that's attacking them to begin with. We're watching out for those people if they understand exactly what it is that we're doing. If somebody's claiming to be a Republican, which see right now there's so many of them that's saying that they're Republicans and they're not Republicans at all. They're not conservatives. They just don't like the way that the whole Biden Obama Harris debacle's going. And I don't blame them. But don't all of a sudden claim to be, you know, that what they should do is they should say, well, we're not voting Democrat because these people are morons and idiots. We're going to change this and we're going to vote, you know, on the side of the Republicans. But just all of a sudden claim to be conservative, no. Because first and foremost, you believe in God. You believe in country. God and country. You know, whenever our men and our women fought for this country, all the way up until the present time right now, you know, just like old Chameleon the other day, she said, you know, right now, there's nobody actively fighting. And you can watch the video, and I may put it on here, where at the same time, it's showing our military people, Americans, watching her say that, and they're like, well, where the hell are we at right now? And they are right there where she said none of them were supposed to be. You know, so when you're blatantly lying like that and you're called out, you know, not once, not twice, not 12 times, not 100 times, but every time she opens her mouth, and that's if you can even understand her. I mean, we had Joe Biden that clearly didn't know where he was at, and old Chameleon here, she ain't got a clue of what to do. She's stuck in there. And I mean, it's so obvious that she was just stuck in there. So, we want something taken care of. I realize it's almost 5 again there, young lady. I'm not going to keep you on here, but we need him to jump in. We want to see him actively doing something about this World Health Organization thing that sounds so good, and it's not good whatsoever. Because if something doesn't say American Health Organization, but even then you got to be cautious about it. Like Planned Parenthood. You know, Planned Parenthood. That sounds so kind of, you know, like, oh, okay, so they're somebody going to tell me about what I would need to, you know, start a family or something like that. Maybe they didn't have a good dad or a good mom, or heaven forbid that we would have it like it's intended to be. A dad, a father in the home, not a father, but a dad in the home, and a mother in the home, taking care of and raising the children together. Pay attention to the contract that you take with God whenever you're getting together. When a marriage is a marriage, you got to pay attention to your contract, because if you break it, you'll have nothing but a lifetime of bad. It's a contract with God. It's a covenant. You become one. But the government doesn't want to teach that now. They want to teach it, you know, like such stupidity, like my body, my choice. That's such the stupidest thing. It is your body, it is your choice until you make the dumb choice to lay with somebody and create another body. Then it's no longer your body. It's somebody else's, you know, vessel. So anyway, we're definitely pro-life for sure. But we want Brad to respond we want a response. We want to see what he's doing in response to this World Health Organization. Because, young lady, I don't know if you're aware of the situation or not, but it's bad. It's bad. That means they can create something like what they did with this whole 19 debacle. That was man-made. Demon-made,
only
actually.
this time when they do it, instead of the United States supposed to be in control, no, it'll go to China and they'll be in control of what happens to everyone.
Yeah, and these invaders buying weapons and stuff like that, because make no mistake about it, those aren't just guns. You know what I mean? Pew pews or whatever. That's not what they are replacing us. Why would somebody have, think about that, $30,000 on their magic card? Why would they have that much money?
Ask
Somebody
Harris.
is putting serious cash
Biden
on
and
there
Harris.
because they want them to come in and eliminate we the people, and they're protected. They get by with that stuff. So they eliminate the problem that you're talking to right now, young lady, and and there's nothing nobody can do. It's like, oh, they're protected. No. Isn't this like the prime example of to us should be protected against foreign and domestic? I mean, this is like the ultimate example of what we should be protected from. And how we got here, I'll tell you why, is because you have all of us law-abiding people who are out here, and we're not wanting to go to prison because our own government wants to put us in prison with their army that they've created, the law enforcement or whatever. Listen, I realize it's 5 o'clock or whatever, so I appreciate you getting that to Brad for us, and but no, we're not for his bill or whatever of just them deciding 5 people to put in there. And we definitely need this World Health something. He needs to jump all over this and jump in with the rest of the stand-up Republicans who's fighting this and trying to inform we the people about it. Where's he at? What's he doing? We want to see him doing stuff against this.
Well, I will certainly pass that message along and get a response back to you from the congressman as soon as we're able. As always, we appreciate your thoughts and concerns. Exactly like you said before, it's constituents that lead the way for congressmen. So we really appreciate your thoughts and opinions.
Okay, yeah. I appreciate you appreciating them, but we want to make sure that this actually happens, because we have people out here that's no longer living anymore because of the failed government that we've allowed up until this point. And Brad's getting ready to retire on a failed. How many terms has he been in there? It's failed because there's people no longer with us because of their failures. Hey, thanks again there, young lady. Have a great day. God bless.
You too. Bye.
And that's just the way that it is. I mean, everybody wants to point out, oh, we're doing this. We're going to go down and we're going to do the border right now, right? As they've been called out on so many times, old Chameleon, that's her name, Chameleon. That's how you say her name, right? Because she changes. It depends on the situation, When she's wanting the black vote or whatever, she comes up with, she's all about, and what is it with, did anybody hear her talking about where she comes from? People like their lawns. Like, there's so much stuff that's absolutely just unbelievable, destroyed right now. and it's in such a mess, and she wants to talk about.
She didn't know how to answer, so she had to come up with something. So
Yeah.
she went back and tried a pity party. Oh, I grew up like this, and blah blah blah.
ABC, you know, they got caught and everything else. And what is up with that when they start saying, well, let's turn their mics on and off and stuff like that? No, I don't want you turning microphones off. I want somebody that says, hey, you know what? No, my way is the best way. And here's why. I want somebody who is stand up or whatever. And anybody that says that they do not like Donald Trump's personality is the damn problem. You're the problem. You're one of those Democrats who wants to vote Republican, but that doesn't make you a Republican. Because everybody's saying, oh, I don't really like his personality. I don't like his personality. But you know what? It's that personality is the ones why we have the country that we have. It's the ones that stands up and fights even when they don't feel like standing up and fighting. I've got other things I would rather be doing, you know? But you have these sick individuals, extremely sick individuals, that is, and I keep using the word because there's not a lower word that I can think of than demonic, but you have these demonic bottom suckers, and they say foul things about helpless people, and it just shows how absolutely trash that they are. You know, when you start talking about somebody who can't help being a certain way or something like that, yeah, you're trash. And you know what? There's a 8-year-old boy that you know, got a very serious illness or whatever, and Trump just, you know, sent him a letter, and then also he stopped his rally, or didn't stop the rally, but, well, I guess he sort of did, but he walked off stage of the rally, and just to go backstage and just spend a few moments with that 8-year-old boy, and that's awesome. But I'm planning on doing another video about that, because as I was already speaking about with Trump, I think it was yesterday, the lady who found a place in one of Trump's buildings when they built them or whatever, nobody knew about it. She just kind of set up residence there. She's still living there. And Trump sends her flowers. Said, well, we didn't even know that space, you know, would be utilized for anything or whatever. It was just a building, whatever that happened to be. So he said, I just leave her there, you know. So that's pretty cool, right? And that wasn't recent. And you can go back 10 years ago or whatever it was, and you can see where he actually sent letters to children and special needs people who were in a bad time. And you know he's not doing this for any kind of notoriety right now, because back then he wasn't even planning on, you know, running or anything. It just shows him, you know, doing this, and the views on it are like next to nothing. Like, you can go look them up or whatever. But I would like to do a little montage of you know, when Trump did things. And this ain't to make Trump, you know, look like, you know, he's righteous or anything like that. He's human, and he's got flaws and stuff, but we all do. If we're breathing, you know, there's a reason why we're breathing the air right now. It's because we all have flaws, you know, just some of us way less than others, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, call your representative, call somebody, you know, because this is just infuriating the bad people who happen to have a whole lot of money. Because if you look at it, the Democrats are the most wealthy, or there's more wealthy Democrats than what there is Republicans. So, which really is You know what? I guess that's not really so strange after all, is it? Because, the Bible speaks about, you know, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into heaven. Of course, the eye of the needle not being a regular pokey, stabby, sewy needle. It's it's an opening in a wall, that surrounds little towns and stuff or whatever, so the people could crawl through. But anyway, you can do your own research on that. It's not saying that it can't happen. It's just saying that it's darn near impossible. So how does these people get rich? Oh, let's see. Let's pick out somebody. Let's say, I don't know, Bill Gates. I'm telling you, this turd bucket is unreal. Why is he doing scientific stuff when he's not a scientist? And what is he doing scientific stuff with? Our food. But guess what? That ain't my food. If he has a hand or a part in it, and I know about it, and I can find out about it, I don't have nothing to do with that. Now, I have a list of names that I would, most certainly be glad to see chow down on that. But as far as me and normal, everyday Americans, that's awesome. No, ain't gonna do it. There are people like Fauci that you'd like to see sit down and just serve them up a big old heaping helping of Bill Gates chow, Fauci, man, that dude there. Oh, did you see where my Orcus there, his orifice? They had some. This is what I'm talking about. They had some Republicans that ran to his rescue or whatever, and that's why he's still in there and still performing or whatever. I don't like to do this. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said you slipped by for right now, but we're still coming, and good for Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm so glad and thankful for her. You know what? If you really, really, really are thinking about any kind of a like if you just had to have a female president for some reason, which I am totally against, but if you had to have one, Marjorie Taylor Greene is definitely, and Boebert. I like Boebert really well. I think she's incredibly smart. You got to have somebody that's not just smart, but you got to have somebody who can be vicious if they have to be. Just like when Trump told the Taliban guy or whatever, he said, why did you give me a picture of my home? And Trump told him and said, well, you'll just have to figure that one out. But no soldiers were even shot at or anything while Trump was in there. So, you know what? I watch these channels and stuff where they are actually interviewing people. And you can tell they don't have a clue what it is to genuinely be American. Some of them, even though they say that they're voting for Trump, as I pointed out, that doesn't make them Republican. And that makes them still scary to me, The problem that we have with this country is we started calling it the melting pot, and we would bring in all these people or whatever, and we did not put a handle on this melting pot till where we could say, okay, that's getting a little too full, let's pull that off of there, and as you see now, it just kept going. They kept adding to the amount of people that they would let in, because you can go back and you can watch every election or whatever, depending on, well, it's a known fact that they figured out that if they let in these people right before election, that these people would vote for whoever would be president right then, because they don't understand, and this is the point that I am making with this melting pot. Okay, it's all well and good, but you can't have people coming in and them not truly understanding, like from their heart and soul, of what it means to be American, And I've always been about, helping other countries and stuff like that. But if I knew that we would be in the spot where we're at now, to where we've let go so much that we've just forgot about, hey, wait a minute, how do we stand together? Wait a minute, how do we turn this off, without looking like the bad guy? Because who wants to be the one to say, no, you can't come in, or no, you can't have that, even to your child, your own child, But then you see these people who are people, and they come in because there's some of them that are genuinely just people that's wanting a better life. But this is what they're counting on. This is their weapon. And I forget the name of the Russian defector or whatever, but you can go look the guy up, and I can't remember his name right now. But he actually told it word for word, exactly of what was going to happen and what was already happening, and he said we wouldn't be able to stop it anyway. And so far, he's right. The only hope that we have at really even starting, and that doesn't mean that it's settled, even though that if we can get Trump back where he belongs there, that doesn't mean problem solved. It just means that we have a chance. So to have that chance, we got to get Trump back in there. And this is going to show the majority if we still have a country or not. That's what it boils down to. If we still have a country, then Trump will get in there. Now, what they're saying is that this is what they're already gaslighting people on and everything else. They're saying that no matter what happens with the election coming up, that we're going to have a war, civil war. And, honestly, after what I've seen out of the evilcrats, that probably will happen, because nobody took one shot at Biden. Do you know of any?
No.
I don't know of one person that took a shot at Biden, and I don't know one person that hadn't thought of that. But nobody attempted anything like that. But now look, just all within not even 30 days, twice they tried to take Trump out. So what's that say right there? It's the same way with our election 2020. You see, if they don't like that you're saying, hey, we don't want it that way, we want it this way, then they step in and then they strong arm it, and then they've done this all in the past. Well, here's where conservative and republic, the true Americans are, is that we are in the place now, just like with the mail-in ballots and all that stuff. We didn't believe in that. I'm one of those that went on the day to do it the right way. The only thing is, we should have had paper ballots. We should have been able to write down on paper and then had it, instead of these machines and stuff like that. But I went on the day, and then that's when. But they didn't like that, so they corrupted that. They took over that, and they twisted that, didn't they? We know that's a fact now. That they lied to us and said, oh, no, nothing to see here. No, that didn't happen. It can't happen. There's no modem. We knew all that, and we found out that was all a lie. Now, not only do we know it was a lie, but we know exactly how it was done. And how many people actually go back or not go back, but how many people are going to the right places right now to actually find that information out? You can go to Frank's speech, Mike Lindell, and look that up. The Cyber Symposium. It'll show you how it was done and everything. And we knew it as far back as, what was that, in 21, I think it was, when he finally got that out. But they didn't like, and they knew that the Americans was going to the right. They was going to the right. They didn't like it, so as the evilcrats, liberals do, they come in and they corrupted that so that the truth didn't come out. They corrupted the machines and everything and decided that it was going to be their way, the illegal way. Now, they see that now we've had enough and we're behind our candidate that we want, that should have been in there, and we are bolstering our position of who we want this time. And we're looking in to the machines. We're looking in to all of the proceedings and procedures of how this election is supposed to be going, because right now there's already people calling out right away. There's invalid ballots and stuff like that, and they're already correcting it. Now we see where they don't like that at all, and now they're actually going out, instead of corrupting the machines, now they're going directly at Trump, trying to eliminate him, right? And nobody is going to tell me that, you know, we don't understand what's going on, like what ABC and the rest of them's doing, because they blatantly, right in our face, are treating us like we don't have a clue. Anybody that watched that, and I'm going to tell you something, here's how you know that Trump definitely won that debate, even though there was 3 against 1. But see, it wasn't 3 against 1, was it? It was actually however many are still claiming to be evilcrats, liberals, against we the people. That's what that was against. But if you noticed, you know, that some people say, well, no, Trump, you know, he couldn't win because there was 3 there. No, he did win. And here's the simple way of describing, and here's how you know that he won. Because he just put up his shield and he stood there. He lost no ground whatsoever. He seen that there was, we're saying 3, but the 3 that was in the studio there or whatever, that everybody knew, hey, something ain't right here immediately. That was like right in your face, right up front, you could tell. What are they doing? Like, why is the the announcer, what do you call them?
Mediators.
No, the people that was, anyway, the ones that was asking the questions and stuff. Even they were attacking Trump, which is attacking we the people. And we knew that was wrong right there. So, but there's a bigger picture there. Trump didn't have to go on the offense there. And he didn't even have to go defense. He won that just simply by just standing there. He didn't back down. He didn't say, oh, you know what, you all against me, I'm running out of here, or I'm not doing this, or whatever. He stood right there, you know. And the Bible even says that when you don't know what to do, just stand, you know. So, but he knew what to do in that situation. And what he did is he stood there and he held his ground. That's a win. Because that's what we the people did. Is we held our ground right there. And then immediately afterwards, you know, he went through the debacle that they was putting on. And then afterwards, he left it up, you know, to we the people. And we the people saw through it and said, hey, no. Y'all attacked him, so y'all are attacking us. We see through your garbage. All right. anyway, this WHO, World Health Organization thing, you need to call in to your representative, okay? 202-224-3121. That's the switchboard in Washington. As you've seen how to do that, pick up your phone, dial it up, tell them who you want to talk to. You don't have to go into a bunch of details or whatever, but you just tell them that you stand with We the People. Tell them that you just want to echo what James told them or whatever. If you want to do it that way, it doesn't make any difference. But call them up, and it doesn't have to be just a representative. You call your mayor, you call your governor. Oh, by the way, too, find out whether or not your mayor of wherever you're at is on board with taking money for letting these invaders come to a town that you're in right now. Because that's what we're finding out, or that's what I'm just finding out. I was unaware of that, but the mayors know about it. I mean, first, they make deals with the mayors. So, like Springfield, Ohio, and so on and so forth. I know a lot of people that have pets that happen to be cats, and they happen to be dogs. And now, I don't know if you watched my other video or not. It's kind of lengthy, but I would encourage you to go watch that. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for hanging in there with me. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it very much so. You're in a place where some people would tell you that it's a rough place to be, and that's with somebody who will tell the truth. Well, if I'm wrong about something, I'll say that I'm wrong about it. I ain't been wrong that I know of yet. Because I am for We the People. And anytime that they're coming in and they're trying to knock us out of jobs and everything, and speaking of that, the Teamsters aren't backing the Democrats. Now, they're considering that an endorsement for Trump. Well, that's not an endorsement for Trump. It doesn't work against Trump in no way. But you know what? Why don't the Teamsters come out and blatantly just put it out there? We are with the people, I mean, aren't they supposed to? Aren't the Teamsters union? Isn't that supposed to be like an American union thing that it was created, to protect the truck drivers and stuff, that they have a decent wage and that, they're treated fairly and stuff. Well, isn't that what we, the people, are trying to do with our country right now? Because we already see what they're doing. They're saying, oh, we created something in a different country and we paid this devil to create this. Then we made money off of him unleashing it on the world. Then we made money from the pokey jabby that we told people that they had to have, and how many jobs are gone and stuff like that. You know what? That's the less of it, isn't it? The biggest thing is, what about the people that's no longer here now because of that? And what about the people now that's struggling with the rest of their life with problems from that? So I think there's some of them that are wanting to straddle the fence because they still think that maybe, and it's true too, that there's opportunity to corrupt this election again. And make no mistake about it, they have to. They don't have a choice. So it's kind of like when the government's army, the cops, the law enforcement, when they arrest somebody, you know, they read them the Miranda rights, and what does it say? Can and will be held against you. Okay, the same thing is what I'm saying about this election. All right, no, no, you're all right. All right. Anyway, this election, it's not if they can. We already know they can. We know that they can corrupt it. It's the will part that you better be worried about when you're dealing with the government's personalized army against we the people. You know, law enforcement. That's the government's army that they have created, and the CIA and FBI and all that stuff who spies on you all the time or whatever. And you have these unbelievable mindless people that because somebody's holding a cell phone and recording them up on public or whatever, they flip out because there's a person holding that. But yet, if they would bother just to look up on just about any wall that you go or any street that you go down or anything, there's 100 daggone cameras everywhere. But because there's not a human holding it and you don't know who to go after, that's why you don't. You know what? If you liberalcrats had a brain in your head, you would understand, but you don't and you won't. It's easier for you to say, oh, I can see and I can hear them. I'm going to attack the one person holding that phone right there, you know. And I can't even begin to talk near as dumb as what a liberalcrat is, and that's my best attempt right there, you know. We don't know what to do, you know. That's what happens. You don't know who to go after, and even though I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you the answer. 202-224-3121. Call them. You know what? Old Sherrod Brown, Sherrod Brown, you know, Democrat in Ohio here. He's running again or whatever. Man, I just about don't care who it is. Somebody else has got to get in there because no way. And then what's the other? There's supposedly a Republican that's running or whatever. I don't trust him neither. He's just a weasel too. I can't remember his name. But do your homework, do your research on whoever it is, and we got to pay attention to all of it now, not just the local elections, but definitely the presidential election that's coming up. And it's coming up quick. I think it's 48 days now. So we're you know, way less than 2 months now. They're getting more desperate. They're going to, the more desperate they become, the more serious attempts that they're going to make. And I believe that it's like old what's his name, Bonaducci or whatever, the one guy that, anyway, he said, you know, he's the one that said, guarantee you that he will be, there will be another attempt made on him soon. And he was right, you know. Now you got this guy that stuck the gun barrel through there down in West Palm Beach, Florida, at Trump's golf course. You know, he just steps off the road, just pulls off the road there, walks over to the fence, sets up shop. He was there for 12 hours. And how did he know 12 hours in advance that he was going to be there? You know, had a backpack, a couple of them hanging there. He was all... We still don't know what the ceramic tiles were for. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of interested in finding out what that's about. I don't know why he had ceramic tiles. That's kind of... I don't know if he was going to use it for like protection or something. I don't
didn't
know
think
how
about
that
that,
would work. Huh?
I didn't think about that, but
Well, ceramic though it would break,
yeah.
but I don't know. They do
I don't
some, you know, maybe he had a pouch for or some kind of a bulletproof vest that he had. I don't know. And then he had a GoPro because he definitely wanted to document it, for himself. He wanted to have.
I don't
Look
think it was
what
for
I
himself.
did, because they all they're all thinking that they're going to be like what is it? Whenever they get blowed up or whatever, they say they'll go to wherever it
The
is.
kamikazes, where they'll have the 70 virgins.
Yeah, like old Jeff Dunham.
But see, I disagree. I don't think he was going to videotape it for himself.
Oh yeah, he was.
I think he was videotaping it for proof. For
That he actually done it.
yes, for
Why
whoever.
why would you need that if?
For whoever hired you.
Well, why would you need that whenever you could see on every TV
Why back in
station?
the day did they say, well, bring back his head or his sword or whatever?
Well, back
Same
then they
bit.
didn't have
Well,
the internet.
It don't matter.
Nah, he just wanted for self, glory, because he could go back and get praise for, look, I actually did it. Because maybe that's the cause. Maybe he could say, that's interesting too. I believe that he wanted to do that so that he could have proof that it was actually him that fired the bullet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Him
To
having
whoever,
proof.
because
Yes.
the TV would say, oh, Donald Trump just got, you know what I mean?
Yes. That was what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
wanted proof that it was him that did it.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, there you go. He wanted the receipt that he wanted paid is what he wanted.
Because I know who's involved.
Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I have a strong belief that it's an inside job. It's
Well, but I mean that's obvious. Of course,
Well,
it's
it's not
inside.
just- it's not just Harris.
Called the government.
it's not just
It's called the
Harris.
government.
It's not
Look,
just Biden.
Listen, what do you think
It
happened?
goes deeper.
What do you think about JFK?
Exactly.
JFK, it's like, is it so hard to understand that all of a sudden he veered this way and like on a day that, and then they outrun the security guard that was right, or the Secret Service guy that was on foot, and he's like, well, man, they're speeding up. He couldn't keep up, So, who is that? You can check it out. See. So anyway, we know that the government was all about that, and the same way here. When you say government, it's not an endearing thing. It's not a cozy feeling thing. It's not a good word to even say. And I really want to be able to say that the government is good, but you know what? That is so far away right now. It may be an impossible thing to ever be able to say. But we won't have a chance to even start if we don't get this and watch our election and stuff. What's coming up? We gotta watch. So anyway, listen. A lot of stuff. Call somebody, man. Just start with the switchboard 202-224-3121. Tell them that you stand with James on this, or we the people stand together, and that you echo the same thing as what James had told them. We got to do something. We got to get this back, because right now, for anybody to become complacent and think that we're okay, we're not okay. And we haven't even seen the repercussions of what this debacle has already done and created. It's not even hit us yet. Even if we get Trump, when we get Trump back in there, there's things that he's not going to be able to write until after it's already devastated us, Some things are just going to have to play out no matter what. It's like once you hit the ball, it's traveling until it hits something. But it's got to travel, and it will hit something. And we are who it's already been hitting. So many of us now are, gone. But hey, listen, appreciate you. If you're a true American and you can do it, it's not going to cost you anything to hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up button. I haven't got 1 cent from doing this. That's not why I do this. I have not received not 1 cent. I don't do this for any kind of payback or anything like that. We have a country to save here, and I'm going to tell you something. When you stand for God first and foremost, and when you go against all of the evilness that's out there, that I literally, quite literally, am amongst right here where I'm at right now. Like I've got other properties and stuff that I need to get to and stuff. But right now, I mean, it's just it's a war on evil. And when you have God first and foremost, it's a battle that you'll win. But you have to go through the battle. So that's where I'm at, and I appreciate all of you. If you can, and if you would, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for your guys' comments. Thank you so much for the prayers for the boss. And anyway, God bless America. God bless you and yours. We're praying for you. Thank you so much for praying for us, especially the boss. And we're just happy to have you here. Please call the representatives, call the mayors or whoever you want to. I give you that number, so just get in there, and then that way you can actually say that you stood up and helped us to overcome the evilness that's there. So love you, Lord. Love you, boss. Peace out.